All right. Well, we're here to talk a little bit about the release stage with the field. And Manuel, it looks like you've added some items to the agenda, so I'll let you take it away from here.
Thank you, Jackie. So I have some feedback from the field, especially from the European team here, which I represent. So I got some feedback from the SAs too. So first of all, we had once we had our first GitLab day here in Germany, which was a big success and great feedback from the customers, especially to the sections which we are talking about here. So I have noted that further down, which I will explain later. But first of all, some feedback from one customer regarding our container registries. So they would like to have something like a rules engine so that they could preserve them for a longer time, the container. So that's why right now they are using Nexus, for example. I've also included another customer, which might be interesting feedback for you. I hope that's also related to the GitLab container registry, that developers can easily remove containers. So they would like to somehow make sure that it doesn't happen again. And there's also an issue which is linked there. So that's some feedback from the SA perspective. So that's for that. And regarding back, yeah, just
that's super helpful. We, as a release management team, contributed to the package stage to generic package registry. So we'll be transferring that work to package to maintain long-term. But what's interesting about this is packages upstream of release, and we're working really hard on making those experiences more connected. So I love hearing this kind of feedback so that I can help partner with Tim Rizzi a little bit better on making sure that these customers who are adopting package and release are fully satisfied. So this is really great feedback.
Okay, so just let me know if you need, let's say, more high level, more detailed feedback. I will check with the colleagues and make sure you get that.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay, yeah, then I split it up based also on basically your sections like pages, CD and secrets, for example. So for pages, again, I mean, we talked about that in the past. Customers are seeking actually to have that kind of Kubernetes support related to the object storage, but that just still some feedback which I still get from customers. So I know the feedback from you already, so I'm already telling them, yeah, we are working on it, we are having it, we are doing our best to release it somehow. I'm not telling any timeline.
That's smart. Thank you.
All good. I just wanted to mention it again because it's coming up from time to time. And regarding CI/CD, regarding our German GitLab Day, so we had over 250 participants for the whole event, so which was virtual, 3 hours. And there was one presentation regarding CI/CD from of one of our SAs. And it was pretty surprising that I think 80% answered our poll with that they already have good experience in CI/CD. So that was very good. They are very, very satisfied with it. So we had several questions related to it and getting more to the details. So some of them, because we were also talking about the secrets management, they were asking for, let's say, best practice and how we do things and so on. And we explained that we have the integration with HashiCorp, for example, with Vault. And then actually the next questions came up in the chat. Okay, what's Vault? What's secret management? So we have still a lot of room to grow in that direction because the people are just adopting this kind of storage for secrets. And so it's very, very good that we have it inside, and it was good to see for our customers that we are moving also in this direction. So they like that very much. So that's basically what we got out of this, let's say, Connect Day regarding to this session today.
Wonderful, that was super good. Steve, do you have anything that you'd like to add or expand on from your angle?
No, not today, but thank you.
All right, perfect. We'll go ahead and transition into delivery updates. So I have a link here to our release section page, and we have 2 embedded files here, which are design files. And it's our 3-year vision that Orit and I will be doing a walkthrough of this week and recording it and sharing it with you all. But just wanted to draw your attention to that because it gives some really cool high level things that we're hoping to accomplish inside of the release stage in GitLab in the next 3 years. Some of these are deployment approvals, run books, automation from these run books, the template machine, which allows you to sort of select different sections of your YAML file and then inject that into your YAML file automatically. So we're really excited about these mocks because it helps paint the picture of where we're going.
Yeah, I also spread them across the team. So when I asked for the feedback for this call, I also spread. I hope that was fine for you. So I spread the
Absolutely
the mock-up. So of course, they were not aware that you just changed them. I think last week. So that's why I did it.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you for spreading them. That's exactly what we want. We want people to see them and then either provide more feedback that we're thinking about this the right way or we're not. So we're really excited about it. And once we do a recording, we'll start propagating that more widely throughout GitLab Slack channels and such. I'll pass it to Orit to talk through her delivery in progressive delivery.
Thanks. Yeah, so we have some exciting stuff that we're working on and have shipped or partially shipped. So we'll start with auto deploy to EC2. So we've done a lot of work in the past few milestones to allow deploying to AWS targets just to be much easier. So we already have templates for deploying to ECS and Fargate, and now we're adding EC2. So we just delivered a template, and next milestone, we're going to connect it to the Auto DevOps flow. So that'll be auto deploy to EC2. What's really nice in the way that we built this solution is that we also created standalone Docker images for each step along the way. So you don't have to use a full GitLab CI template. You can just use an image. So you can use an image just to push to S3 or an image just to connect to the AWS CLI. So you can really mix and match and do whatever you want on the GitLab CI YAML. So it really, really gives you a lot of flexibility. I don't think it's the best solution when you're going against like GitHub Actions, but it's definitely a start. So, so we've really Dockerized everything, made it standalone, have a full template, don't have a full template, connect it to Auto DevOps, don't connect it to Auto DevOps. It's really the user can do whatever they want. So that's the first issue that I'm super excited about. The other one is we just rolled out in this milestone flexible rollout for feature flags. We also completed the move to open source feature flags. So this is going to be available in any core. So flexible rollout is intended to replace the percentage rollout that we have today. So that today you can choose a feature flag and you can decide that it'll be rolled out to 50% of the users in production and I don't know, like 75% of the users in staging and so on. But the downside and the thing that users don't know that happens behind the scenes when you do that is that this is only applicable for logged in users. So anonymous users that are not logged into the system, you don't really know how that's going to affect them. So you know that like at least someone who, the users that you do know, that's going to be applicable for them. So this opens up another option for configuration, and that's the stickiness. So how is this defined by? So you can define the stickiness of a strategy by user ID. You can define it by a session ID. You can define it by random. So you really can play with whatever you want that to be defined by. And this will also be applicable to anonymous users going forward because this can also be by a session ID. Yeah, so that's about feature flags. And the last one is connecting alerts and environments. So we're doing a lot of work around post-deployment monitoring. I'll just give a brief recap about what I'm talking about. The idea is that once you finish your deployments, you really don't know what's going on with them. And so we added the option to connect alerts that happen after deployment directly into the environment dashboard, so you can see from there what's going on. And in this milestone, what we did was on the alert itself, you can link directly to the environment that that triggered this alert so that you can take action on it. And we also started working on, but probably only in the next milestone will be ready, automatic rollback in such a case. So if there's a critical alert that's raised, you don't actually have to do anything manually, but it will automatically roll back to the previous deployment. So similar to what when you do redeploy on the deployment page, it's going to take the last successful deployment and roll back to that one. So that's coming up. And I'll pass it back to you, Jackie, unless there's any questions.
No questions for you guys.
Nope.
That was
Very
super
interesting. Very
super
interesting.
thorough. I agree. All right. So on the release management side, we've been thinking very critically about the life cycle of a release. And a big piece of that is being able to attach the binaries you create out of your build process back to your release object for distribution, whether that's to your customers if you're an open source platform, or to your teams if it's an inner sourcing platform. So what we've done is contributed to the package stage with the generic package registry, which allows users to add any raw feed generated out of their CI pipelines to the generic package registry. And then out of this, we've allowed users to generate an asset that then is uploaded to that release and stored in the generic package registry. So this is our first pass at enabling users to complete that full life cycle of building their application, creating a package, and attaching that package to the release object automatically within their YAML file. So that knocks out points 1 and 2 under my bullets. Then we also are looking forward to DORA 4 efforts. So DORA 4 are the top 4 metrics in the DevOps maturity land for our customers. And they've been getting, these metrics have been getting a lot of press. They include lead time, deployment frequency, change rate, and then I'm missing one more because the ticket is in front of me. But those are all then aggregated together based on how you're performing, and you get a
Time to restore.
There you go. Look at you. You got me. And those are then aggregated together, and your maturity is ranked and scored. Well, in GitLab, we're creating an iterative approach for users at the group level to see these sort of metrics, and then it'll aggregate up to eventually the instance level to allow people to see on their projects how they are in sort of the maturity of DORA 4. So what we're looking at in the next couple of releases, Orit and I are splitting this effort, but the MVC is creating a CI/CD analytics at the group level, and that's what my team will be contributing. We're also creating a lot of other group features at the release management section. So a group environments page, as well as supporting group releases, and then future looking, supporting draft releases at the group and the project level. So that was sort of the overview of what we're looking at accomplishing historically and then looking forward. Any questions? Some things that you may notice from your users as they start to adopt things like the generic package registry and release assets are looking for easier ways to just curl the API, the releases API, rather than having to use the release CLI tool that we have. This is something that we are working toward, in that we're wanting people just to be able to generate their release artifacts with their YAML file. So that is something that we'll be improving fit and finish for in 13.6 and 13.7.
Okay, that's interesting. So I have one Ultimate customer which is adopting currently the release functionality. So they really liked it. So before that, they were building everything manually and by hand, and they already automated most of that. And so that's good feedback also, which I can get back to them. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, that sort of wraps up everything that we have. Any other questions or thoughts?
Anything which we should take back to the CS team? Anything which you need, let's say, with a more higher priority? Anything which you can get help from us?
Well, I know that Orit will be working on A/B testing research and solution validation. So it might be good to have some customers in our back pocket that are interested in using feature flags for AB, given
Yeah.
that we'll eventually start a research campaign for that.
Okay. Yeah. Let me know, Orit, and I will check in the European CS team.
Yeah, so to be honest, we've done kind of extensive research with like 20 users already, Jackie, on that. I assume we want to start working on A/B testing in Q1 of 21. So this is the crunch time to translate the research into implementation issues. And I think that most of the research that I would need help with is around solution validation. So we'll come up with something, and then we kind of need to figure out if that makes sense and if it works. So that's where I think we would need help.
Okay. Yeah. As I said, just let me know. Happy to help you.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you all for your time. I'll share this video inside of our channels and we'll go from there.